Sentry mode activated. Target acquired.
Hey there hunters, and welcome back to the Gunners Guild. It has been a while. Anyway, this is much overdue and it will be slightly dated next week when we get Master Rank Colv, but I wanted to get this out here so we have our baseline of gear to be farming up the Colv and Arc Temper Namiel. Anyway, here are my set updates and some notes for meta changes for gunner equipment up to the current patch, which is for Furious Rajang and Raging Brachydios. Let's start with the heavy bowgun stuff. The two new bowguns we have here are the Doomlord Beastbuster from Furious Rajang and Lightbreak Cannon from Raging Brachydios. Rajang's heavy bowgun is going to be our go-to for stickies and clusters from now on. It has the same raw as Zora Magdaros's, it does get sleep 2s and parry 2s like Zora's, but it also gets its sticky 3s on normal recoil 2 and normal reload, which is a bit of a step up over Zora's. It does have a slight edge over Zora's in that regards, so the sticky side is going to be just a little bit better. So that's going to be paired with Brachy's 2-piece, which is going to let us run True Spare Shot and Agitator 7 to also give us just a little bit more raw than we had before. It is a slight improvement to what we had across the board, plus the heavy bowgun looks pretty freaking awesome, so that's nice. So you're going to want to make this one. This is also going to be our new normal heavy bowgun. It can get a clip 8 recoil 1 fast reload setup with only using 1 recoil and 1 reload mod. So this is going to be a big step up compared to our previous normal heavy bowguns. Thanks to its large mag size and fast reload, we actually are going to opt out of spare shot, which is, well, it's going to be the first time we've ever done that. We can just get more consistent damage by stacking more raw. You can also run this with a shield mod too if you're afraid of getting one tapped, but you kind of forfeit a lot of damage from losing your close range mods in the scope. But it is basically a longer range options compared to spread shields, but I wouldn't do it. But anyway, yeah, so we're just going to stack a ton of raw here, and this is going to be a pretty solid normal option. I'm not going to say normal is better than spread because it's pretty much never going to be the case, but we're getting there. It's getting better. Now, Brachydios' heavy bowgun on the other hand is relatively useless. It can't really do anything better than Rajang's, which is weird because you'd think it would be the de facto sticky and cluster heavy bowgun, but nope. It's not really going to be used for anything, sadly. It's got Wyvern Heart, but even that kind of falls behind the regular Rajang heavy bowgun, and it doesn't really have supportive MOs, and Heart is already niche as it is, so, you know, it's just kind of a shame. They can't all be winners, so that's that. So let's move on. Since we did normals already, let's move on to spreads. We pretty much just got more damage. 3-piece Safi and 2-piece Brachydio will be a reoccurring theme from here on for a while. We're again opting out of Spare Shot Charm finally and just cramming in more damage. On paper, we should be doing about 10% more DPS on average compared to running Spare Shot, which means Spare Shot will probably still be optimal with extremely good RNG runs if you're doing speed running, that is. But we're going to be consistently better without it, which is fantastic because I'm fucking tired of Spare Shot, trust me. So, yay, we're finally over that threshold. I do have shield setups as well for the spread heavy bowguns, which I included because it's just kind of hilarious that it's literally just 5-piece of Brachy. That's how strong that armor set is. It's ridiculous. Other than taking away Spare Shot here just for more damage, we're not actually changing anything significantly on these spread setups, so pretty much playing the same still. Same bowguns, same everything else. For Pierce heavy bowgun, we also got some nice buffs here. Rajang's armor is going to give us our Max Might secret on 2 pieces and let us get True Spare Shot and Max Might 5, which is going to have us getting 100% affinity without weakness exploit, so we don't necessarily have to tenderize with Pierce anymore. We could just dump bullets into the monsters now. While tenderizing does make good hit zones and the damage is going to be partially on that tenderized zone, it's going to kind of waste time because it takes a long time to tenderize, so we could just kind of forego it and get more DPS since we're just going to never have to stop shooting. Plus, Pierce goes through a lot of parts of the monsters. Tenderizing just one of those parts is only going to give you that damage for, you know, a third of your hits anyways. So now let's don't stop shooting ever. Don't get hit, don't stop shooting. Now if you notice, we also did put Stamina Surge in here because we're going to be rolling rather frequently as a heavy bowgun user since we're not putting shields on this, and we want to replenish that stamina ASAP to keep maximum might up. So yeah, it's actually got some pretty good buffs across the board here. I will also be including a shield setup here just in case you're afraid of getting tapped. It does not run guard up because you don't technically need guard up, but you know, just don't get hit by those really big lasers. Now, while heavy bowguns can run elemental setups against some monsters, they're kind of niche and I still don't like doing it, so I'm not going to be including them in my sets, however. But for the most part, they're going to be just copying the light bowgun sets, so, just think about that if you want to run elemental heavy bowgun. So let's move on to light bowguns. Brachydios' new light bowgun is kind of a meme here too. You'd expect it to be the new sticky light bowgun, but no, it can't really reduce its recoil of its stickies, so it can't compete with Aqua Shot, who can run both True Spare Shot and Artillery 5 anyway. What it does do is super meme-ish in that it does rapid fire normal 3s, which is the first time we actually get to rapid fire level 3 ammo, and boy does it suck. Flip 1, battery load, bad recoil. We can get it down to like recoil 2 and 1 evade reload mod, which is kind of a joke and a meme like I said, but I mean it means we don't have to run free element, I guess. It's bad. It's way too much reloading. It's different, I guess. I'm gonna include it just for the meme factor because it's technically different, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Rajang's light bowgun isn't any better. It just can't compete with our other guns, sadly. And this one's got auto load on normal 3, which is again another meme. The actual damage per hit's really good, just the constant reloading is really bad. I just wanted to mention these because we haven't really had really effective normal light bowguns. In fact, the current best normal light bowgun is still the Teroth Blitz support from high rank. Yeah, that high rank weapon that's got like 50 less raw compared to everything else. Still the best normals. Hopefully when Kulf Taroth comes out and we get to upgrade it to support 2.0, that'll be the new normal light bowgun. So don't worry about these ones, I just wanted to mention them, but trust me, they'll get replaced once we get Kulf. Okay, let's go to the actual upgrades though for light bowgun. Spread 2s. 3-piece Safi, 2-piece Bracky, as we had mentioned before, and we're again dumping Spare Shot because the Resentment 5 charm is just too good to pass up since we don't need free element 3. This is a really good sizable boost in damage compared to our old setups, and we do gain some consistency now that we're not running Spare Shot. On spread 3s for slow reload, we're going to get a slight buff in damage because we're running Brachydios set here because it's just a really good set of armor. Otherwise, no real changes here since we still have to run True Spare Shot due to the clip size. Now with evade reload spread 3s on the Garuga light bowgun, we also got a slight buff in damage because with the extra affinity from Agitator, we don't even need weakness exploit anymore. We can sit at 94% crit without it, so woo. I mean, we're still gonna have to tenderize since we want those juicy hit zones, but we can squeeze out a little bit more raw this way. So I mean, it's a little bit better, but it's still about what it was before. Okay, Pierce light bowgun, which also got huge buffs thanks to the Rajang armor. They basically run the same set as the heavy bowguns. Both set drop weakness exploit and opt for max might 5 and true spare shot. Bolt with Pierce 2s may not necessarily need true spare shot since it's got a huge clip size, but the math says it's still a little bit better than just getting some extra raw that we could squeeze in otherwise. Aqua Shot Pierce 3s are super strong now thanks to my testing it out on PC. We know that the frame rate affects so much of this game, and the high PC frame rates means you get some nasty amount of hits in with that Pierce that you wouldn't be able to get in on console. So if you're on console, Aqua Shot may not be worth using over the Pierce 2s on Bolt, but for PC users, if you can manage the slow reload that Aqua Shot has, I would be using it. But overall though, Pierce light bowgun is looking way better than it ever was, so yay. Sticky light bowgun didn't change, it's still Aqua Shot, both running True Spare Shot Artillery 5. Yeah, no changes, moving on. Elemental light bowgun hasn't changed either. They want to run 5 pieces Safi Jiva, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. That flat elemental is just way too strong. So yeah, no changes there, but the elemental light bowguns are still strong, and you should probably get your thunder and ice bowguns set up ready for Kulf Taroth because we haven't gotten tired of that yet, now have we? And I do expect that when we get our crit element light bowguns from Kulf, that crit element on Safi 5Ps will be really good for light bowgun, even if they do have smaller clip sizes. So I'm looking forward to seeing those as well. For bows, Rajang's bow is not bad at all, although it's going to be niche as I expected. Maybe versus Ruiner or some booster setups on Rathian it may be useful, but otherwise I don't see it doing anything new. Brachydios bow is looking pretty killer though. It crushes the Safi Blast bow, and we can use it on Ruiners and Ogre and some other just bad elemental mons for sure. The boosted Blast coats are going to be really nice, especially since the Brachydios arm comes with Blast 3 anyway. So it's a pretty solid step up compared to the Safi Jiva bows, and I'm going to be using it on some things for sure. I would definitely make this one. Raw bow is not just a meme anymore, it's actually taken some pretty good steps. Other than that, we didn't really change anything for bows. I will have our old sets included here, and some crit element and 3-piece Sophy included as well, because the higher raw lets them do decently on some bad elemental monsters. And I've also included some coalescence sets for water and ice, because it's good for fire and blast monsters, because you can keep coalescence up pretty much all the time. But yeah, no significant changes for bow, just make that blast bow. It also looks pretty awesome. Next week we do get Arc Tempered Namiel, which will be good. Can't wait to see what that set is like, because the set bonus is already pretty nice, but the set itself is pretty bad, so I'm eager to get a better version. And of course with Kolf Toroth 2, which means we're going to get upgrade to all our Ulf Cold weapons, and I admittedly got rid of them all already, so don't be me. Now we should be getting some nice upgrades in there as well, with that free built-in crit element on some bowguns and bows, but we'll have to see. I'm excited for her fight though, we actually get to finish this thing finally. Anyway, thanks all for watching, I will see you guys next time, good luck out there hunters, and whatever you may be hunting.